Today we are going to learn about our first topic in the data structure, that is array. In this video, we are learn that how to create a array, how to store the value inside the array, and how to print the value of array. So first we have to know what is array. Array is a collection of similar type of element that store in a continuous memory allocation. So first we have to know what it means. Continuous memory allocation means that array can store the similar type of element. Similar type of element means we know in the case of C, there are four type of data type is present, double, float. So it can store either integer or character or float or double, but all should be same and similar type as well as the continuous memory location. What it means? For example, I want to store five integer value. So whenever we say integer value means it can be stored 2 bytes or it can be integer stored in a 4 byte. Reason is that old version it requires 2 bytes, for new version it requires 4 bytes. So if we want to store the 5 element means what? There are 420 bytes reserved. So continuous memory means that if the starting address of this reserve memory is 100, then next location is 104, then 108, then 112, then this is 4 element, one more element it's going to be stored. This is 120. So 5 element it's stored in a continuous memory location. That's why array is a collection of similar type of element and it can have only the similar type and continuous memory location. For example, I declare integer. If I store 10, 20 here, I cannot store the 3.5. If I store the 3.5, it is a float data type. Immediately we'll get the error message. So here it cannot possible to store the different types. So whatever value it will store only the integer value. It will store the integer value. We cannot store the character also. So second point is that array are derived data type because from any data type we are going to define the array, whether it's a integer or a character or float or double. It can store the derived data types like the pointer. So array of pointer can be possible, array of structure can be possible. So what are the properties of array? Each element of the array of same data types carries the same size. So next one, how we can declare a array in C language. Array declaration is first we have to mention data type, as we know that array can store the similar type. So whether it store the integer data or it is a character or double or float, we have to specify. Then the array name. After that, the within the square bracket, we have to mention the array size. Array size or length of the array or how many element the array is going to be stored. After that, semicolon should be present. So first example, integer a 10 means name of the array is 10. It requires it only store the 10. It requires store only the integer value and maximum element it can store 10. So if integer requires 4 byte, total 40 bytes reserved for this array. Next example, character B. Character B means B is the name of the array which can going to be store only the character value and it can store maximum 20 characters. More than that, it cannot possible. So this is called a declaration. Means whenever we declare an array, at that time memory allocation is done. Then initialization we declare, but we are not store the value. So how to store the value? So by help of the index, we can able to store. So in case of array, indexing is starting from 0 to n minus 1. So what is 0 and what is n minus 1? N is the number of element present inside the array. So these are the indexing. So indexing starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So each and every element we are accessing through the indexing value. So this is the indexing. A1, this index we are. If I write down A2 means index 2 we are going to access. So on we are buffer. So this is a simple way how we can declare the array, then we can initialize the array. So here this is a simple example. We declare the array, then we print the value. Let's take this example also. So first we have to write down include as so stdio.h means standard input header file, because in this program we are going to use printf function or scanf function. That's why we use the standard input output header file. So this is our main. As we know in C programming, execution start from main function. So we can write down any number of function, but the execution start from the main function. So here I write down integer A5 means what? A is the name of the array. It can store the maximum value 5 and all the values should be integer value. So first we are going to store this value, then A index 1, we store the value 20, then A2, we store the value 30, then A4, we store the value 40. Sorry, we have to end with the semicolon. Then A5 means we cannot store here because we are already declared 103. It should be 3. Then A3 store the value of 40. Then A4 store the value of 50. So this is our declaration as well as initialization is over. This is declaration of array. This is initialization of array. Next thing, we want to print the value. So whenever we are going to print the value, we have to traverse. Traversing means we have to moving one by one all the elements present inside the array. So we have to traverse from 0 to 4. That's why we have to use one for loop. So for loop for I equal to 0. So before that we are not declare the integer value is I. So we have to declare integer I. Integer I equal to 0. Then I less than 5 or less than equal to 4. I plus plus. Then we have to print the value. Printf is the function to print something inside the C. So new line, it will print. Then we have to print the value. Here also we have to use the index to access the array. So it will print the array. Not it's here we have to write down I, not 0. So here we got the value, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So before going to the output details, let's understand the code thoroughly, how the code is going to be executed. The simple program, we have to learn how to the code is going to be executed. So now first line, whenever we go for first line, so what happened? For example, this is our I is variable declared with 4 bytes, then integer A5. So here what happened? A5 means 5 elements is going to be stored. Integer means it is a data type. Then what happened? 20 byte is result. 4 into 5. So for example, it is 100, it is 104, so on. This is the indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the declaration. Now initialization. A0 equal to 10. Then what happened? This value stored. A1 20 means 20 is going to be stored in A1 index. What is the one index here? So 20 stored. Then A2 30. A2 30 in 2 index. So 30 store here. Then A4 40. 50. So all the values stored inside the array. So this is the initialization of array. Then this is for print the value. So we are printing the value. So here what happened? I equal to 0. I is less than 4. Yes, it is true. If it is true, then what happened? For example, this is our output screen. So what happened? New line is created. Then %d AI. What is the AI? I value is 0. A0. This is 10. So output display 10. Then I value is incremented by 1. 1 is less than 5. Yes, it is true. If it is true, then what happened? Body of the loop is going to be execute printf new line. So what happened? New line is created. After that %d, what value it will store? The AI means A1. A1, what is the A1 value? 20. Then I value is incremented by 1, 2. 2 is less than 4. Yes, it is true. If it is true, then what happened? The body of the loop is executed. Body of the loop means new line. So output will be created new line. Percent AI. What is the I? I is 2. So what is the 2 index value? 30. So it will print the 30 value. Then I value is incremented by 3. 1. So it is 3. 3 is less than equal to 4. Yes, it is true. If it is true, then the body of the loop is executed. What is the body of the loop? New line. So what happened? New line is created. Percent AI. AI means A3. A3 value is 40. So it will go to print 40. Then what happened? I value is incremented by 1, 4. New line. 4 is less than equal to 4. Yes, it is true. If it is true, body will be executed. So what happened? New line will be created. Then AI. What is the AI? A4 is 50. Then I value is incremented by 1, 5. So 5 is not less than equal to 4. So now next statement will be executed. There is no statement ending curly bracket. So here our program will be stopped. So what is the value? 10, 20, 30, 40. So this is the output we got. 10, 20, 30, 40. So this is our program. So we are getting the same program. I will run in a second. Don't worry. So this is a simple program. First declaration, then initialization by the index. If I run the program, output will be displayed. So we store 10, 20, 30. So this is the one way to declare the array and store the value or initialize the value. Let's take another way. We can initialization or declaration at a time. Means declaration with initialization. So this is the example, data type, name of the array, then the array size with the, here what happened? We are performing initialization. All the elements are passed and it should be within the starting ending curly brackets and each and every element should be separated by comma. So it will create 5 array as well as store the element. This is the second way where we can declare the array as well as we initialize the value. Another way it present. So here only difference is that here we are not mention how many element is going to be stored or size of array. Here what happened, whenever compiler takes this statement on the basis of element we are going to pass, according to that the array size is determined. No need to explicitly provide the size. So let's take the same example we are going to change here. So No need to write all these things. So here integer array5 equal to, we pass all the elements by the comma. All the elements should be present, declaration and initialization. So at a time it can be possible. So at a time it will initialize as well as declaration as well as the initialize. So we store the value 11, 22, 30, 44 and 55. We are also going to get the same output here. Now, if I am not mentioned here, no need to specify the size. Depend upon the value, it will be determined. So here we enter only 4 value and we try to. Here also I have to mention the size is 3. So now, so here we did not provide the array size. It depend upon the number of value we enter according to the array size determined. This is the another way. At a time we initialize as well as we declare. Here what happened? Whenever each and every time array value are same. For example, we can also enter the value as per our choice, like console, by help of the scanf function. So here we declare the array. Then what happened? We have to mention for I equal to 0, I less than equal to 4. Anyhow, we have to use the loop to store the value. Here only we have to do the scanf %d. Here we have to access the address. That's why ampersand AI we have to mention. Here also we can write down printf then for loop will be execute to printf. After that we can print the value. Okay, previous one. Reason is that we did not compile it. So we have to compile and run. So here what happened? First initializer, then it will ask us that is, please enter the element into array. So we enter 10, 20, 33, 44, 12. So it will create the array. But here what happened? It will not print the last value. Why? Reason is that in for loop we mention only up to 3. Array is created, but it will print only up to 3. So here what happened? We have to be very careful. How many times the loop is going to be execute. So here if I write down new line, so it will take all the elements one by one. Okay. Here I enter 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So array created 10, 20, 30, 40. So here, let me explain how the program is going to be executed once again. Maybe those who are new, for them it is boring, but for all the details it's required. So in this case, what happened? So first variable I is then array with 5 elements, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then printf. So output screen will be display. Please enter elements into array. Up to this. Then what happened? New line will be created for I equal to 0. I equal to 0. I less than 4. Yes, it is true. So at that time it will ask us. So what happened? I entered the value 10. So whenever I enter the value 10, what happened? Percent %d means integer value it's going to store. Which location? Ampersand AI. So here what happened? For example, this is 100, this is 104, this is 108, this is 112. So here what is AI? It is A0. A0 address is 100. So it will go to this location. Then it store the value 10. Then the I value is incremented by 1. So it will ask me to enter some value. So for example, I enter 20. So now 20 goes to which location? Percent of AI. AI is 1. 1 means 104. It will go to 104. So this is the way it will store the value. So after that, what happened? I value is 5. So this loop will stop. Then output will be displayed. Array created, new line. Same for loop as I have already explained you that for loop is to print the value. So it will print 10, 20, so on. So this is the simple video how we are going to create a array, store the value. So there are multiple way we can initialize as well as store the value.